Hey guys, did you know Ivan Drago's son is going to fight Adonis Creed in the Creed 2 movie? And the Family Matters TV house is going to be demolished. And we got lots more coming up. What up to my peoples? Welcome back to Retro Crunch, your nostalgia news show that's all about current pop culture, movies, music, and games that relates to all things 70s, 80s, and 90s. Alright, we're going to start off with some retro TV and movie news, because we've got lots of it. And first off, Creed 2 now has a confirmed release date of late November for its sequel to the blockbuster Creed, which is one of the movies in the Rocky franchise. The story plot for Creed 2 has not yet been released, but according to ScreenRant.com, there have been some casting calls for someone to play the son of the Russian boxer Ivan Drago. Well, a current MMA fighter named Sage Northcutt said in an MMAfighting.com interview that he recently sent in an audition tape in the hopes that he might be the guy selected to play Ivan Drago's son. And we all remember Ivan Drago as the tough-as-nails steroid-induced villain of Rocky IV, which came out in 1985 and was arguably one of the best movies of the franchise. So it makes sense with the renewed rivalry between the US and Russia for Sylvester Stallone to capitalize on these current events with Adonis possibly fighting a Russian for the title. And for fans of Creed, it's known that Adonis Creed has some festering emotions regarding Ivan Drago, since, spoiler alert from 1985, he was the man who killed Apollo. So Ivan's son might be the next best thing to getting back at Drago himself. It's funny, I remember going over to a friend's house and watching Rocky IV as a kid, and I found out that Apollo had died. And I think it was the next day that I went home and watched it with my family. And I told them about Apollo dying before it happened. So I was kind of spoiling the end of the movie without even trying to. Man, my parents were pissed. And what do you guys think? Do you think Drago's son will be the main villain of the new Creed 2 movie, or just play a small role? I'm curious to know what you guys think about it. And next, did you know that the Family Matters house from the TV show is gonna be totally demolished? Poor old Steve Urkel must be bawling his eyes out. Well, according to the City of Chicago's Department of Buildings, the permit has already been approved for its destruction. Sort of sad news that an iconic house from the series is going to be torn down to make way for a new two-story multi-family unit. But in all reality, the house was really only used for the shots for the opening scene and when the show wanted to pan out of the house to show where the family lived. The actual show was filmed in a studio, so the interior of the house doesn't really reflect the TV set inside that we all grew up to love. So if you're in the Chicago area, you might want to go take a look at the house and get some pictures of it before it's destroyed. I researched the permit and didn't see a date for the demolition, so as far as I know, it's still standing right now. And I'll link to the permit page and the home's address in the description section down below. Up next, most of the 90s kids remember that football-headed cartoon guy, Hey Arnold. Well, the trailer is finally out for the new movie, and it looks like two of the main unsolved plot threads will finally be explained in this. The first plot thread is that Arnold's parents were presumably killed in a jungle adventure, which is why Arnold lives with his paternal grandparents. And the new movie is going to finally answer the question of what happened to his parents. The other unanswered plot line is whether his friend Helga will profess her undying love for Arnold. Yeah, sort of a sappy plot, but the Hey Arnold fans have always wanted to find this out, so this should make them kind of happy. The movie will premiere on Nickelodeon on November 24, 2017, and the film will either end up being the definitive series finale, or maybe just a way to bring back the show for a future series. Also, if you remember the 80s sitcom Perfect Strangers, you may enjoy this video of the spoof that is called Perfect Stranger Things, which merges the two shows. It's got Balky and his cousin Larry, a Demogorgon, and even the Stranger Things kids make an appearance in it. It's really funny, and I'll link to the full video in the description down below for you Stranger Things fans. And the last news that I have is that on December 8th, Motown Records is going to release 3 albums on vinyl from megastar and soulful singer Lionel Richie. These albums are his 1982 album entitled Lionel Richie, 1983 Can't Slow Down, and 1985 Dancing on the Ceiling. And these 3 albums have some of his best hits of all time. So if you love Lionel Richie, you might want to keep an eye out for these. Vinyl records have definitely made a comeback in the last few years, and now we're starting to see a lot of old material being re-released to keep up with that demand. And that's all the retro news I have for you guys this week. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the retro stuff that we talk about every Monday and Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next video. And remember, if it ain't retro, it ain't worth watching.